On this day in Seventh-day Adventist history, Elvira Hastings was only 42 years of age, the mother of 4 children when she died of a ruptured appendix. She was a devoted believer in the Sabbath and the Second Advent. Elvira and her husband, Leonard, resided in New Ipswich, New Hampshire, 60 miles north and west of Boston. In the year 1844, they were farmers, engaged in the fattening of cattle for the market. When October 22, 1844 came, Elvira and Leonard showed their faith in the coming of the Lord and that they did not harvest their potatoes from the field. If Jesus were coming, they would not need the food of the earth. They would be fed from the tree of life. They would leave those potatoes where they were. At this time, they had not met James and Ellen White. There had been some correspondence between the two of them, but no face-to-face meetings. On May 21, 1847, James White writes to her, "All I know of you is that from what I've seen in the Day Star from your pen." When he sent the letter to Elvira, he also encloses the broadsides carrying Ellen White's first vision, saying, "When I get anything good, I have a desire that all the faithful should share a slice. This is my apology for addressing you at this time, and enclosing these 2 visions to you." In early spring of 1850, James and Ellen White received a request to visit the Hastings in New Ipswich, New Hampshire. Elvira Hastings was greatly afflicted. They made the matter a subject of prayer and obtained evidence that the Lord would go with them. When they set out, they passed through Dorchester, Massachusetts on their way. When they arrived at the Hastings home, they found Sister Hastings with tears in her eyes. She exclaimed, "The Lord has sent you to us in a time of great need." She had had an infant, about 8 weeks old, which cried continually when awake. This added to her wretched state of health and was fast wearing away her strength. The Whites prayed earnestly to God for the mother, following the directions given in the book of James, and they had assurances that their prayers were being heard. Jesus was in the midst of them to break the power of Satan, release the captives. But they felt sure that the mother could not gain much strength until the cries of the child should cease. They anointed the child and prayed over it, believing that He, the Lord, would give both mother and child peace and rest. And it was done. The cries of the baby ceased. Elvira's gratitude could not be expressed. Later, Mrs. White would write that both the Hastings were sensitive in nature, but fine Christians, and that her heart was knit with Elvira's, like was the heart of David with Jonathan. What an incredible bond that must have been. On this day, February 28, 1850, Elvira Hastings would pass away.